How's it going, folks? Nick with Foreclosure Finder. I'm back with another walkthrough of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every Saturday morning. We are out here today in New Britain, Connecticut. Not one of my brokerage's foreclosure assignments. This is actually a personal investment that my brother and I own. It's the first one we ever bought back in 2018. We just had to unfortunately complete an eviction. So I figured I'd bring you guys through. We can walk through, see how they left it, give you an idea of what we're going to do for repairs here, maybe just give you a little background on the property and situation. Again, for any inquiries on these properties or just looking to connect in general, go ahead and drop us a line in the links in the video description. All right, so we're in New Britain, Connecticut today. Again, one of my brother and I's personal investment rentals. I don't know if we can see through, maybe a little bit over here. We are right next to the Central Connecticut campus. So close proximity, that was kind of the big draw for us with this house. Rented it out to college kids for the first few years. Had a family in here for about 3 or 4 years, and unfortunately ended up having to evict them just due to rent non-payment. So we'll go ahead, we'll walk around the outside because our plan is to basically redo this whole house now that these people are out. Unfortunately, they didn't leave it in the best condition. So basically going to have a walkthrough today, and then we'll have a post-repair walkthrough once the work is done. All right, so a little bit, obviously we got a little bit going out here in terms of deferred maintenance. They were responsible for maintaining the lawn as part of the lease, but obviously as we work towards the eviction, they completely, ignored that. And a lot of trash left around too. So let's see, what do we got going on here today? Because we're going to be walking through with the contractor at some point, so I know I'll have to do a few things. We're going to power wash the roof. It's a little dirtier on the back just with some moss growth. You can see we got the trees overhanging here quite a bit. Roof's in good shape though, so we're just going to get that power washed. We are going to be replacing a lot of the skirting and the lattice in the front, mostly just because there were a few animals getting underneath it. So our plan is just to take, you can see we got a skirting all around the house. So I guess I should mention, no basement here, it's a crawl space. So that is empty underneath that skirting. We've had a few intrusions. Let me see if I can, there was a good one in the back. See if I can get anything on the side here. But yeah, it looks like they might have done a little bit of padding up themselves. But basically just gonna go around, re-skirt it, make sure it's secure. We don't get any critters crawling in there. This side of the house, not too bad. We are gonna be replacing the windows. So you'll see original wood windows in there. So we're gonna be replacing to the new vinyl ones. We are on public utilities out here, which is nice. Gas and electric, always good. All right, our plan is to shore up these front steps a little bit. That was a repair from a few years ago. Like I said, the goal is to kind of redo this whole place. We are going to end up doing some gutters as well. Gutters are hooked up, but they didn't have the like that mesh on the top to prevent stuff from going inside. So we're going to get those addressed, cleaned out, and get that mesh on there. They did leave quite a bit of trash here. That was honestly a little bit unfortunate, just because it's an additional cost that we'll have in terms of the repairs, just getting the rest of the place cleaned out. All right, let's go around the side. We'll go around to the back. Got a little side deck step up here. This is into the kitchen. This is in pretty good shape. We're going to be replacing the boards on the other side of the stairs just because they're a little wonky. Give it a scrape, paint, give it a nice once over. Obviously we're going to need a little bit of landscaping here. They kind of let this place go quite a bit. Got the backyard here again, just full of all this junk that they left here for us to clean up. Lovely, of course. All right, and then we'll take a look at the back. Like I said, we've got some moss growth growing up on the roof here. So now that, like I said, now that they're out, we can actually get in. We're gonna just turn this whole place over. It was a little hard to piecemeal while they were in there, and at the time when we were trying to make these decisions, we didn't think they were going to be sticking around. Obviously, use this a little entertaining space. You can see some more of the access points to the crawl space here. So it looks like they were having issues and effectively not telling us, which I do hate to see. Got a bit of an overgrown shed. This was just on site when we bought it. They were using it for storage for a little bit, but obviously you can see Mother Nature's doing her thing here. So we're just going to get rid of this and just replace it with a new small outbuilding, just because obviously seen better days, and at this point with the full turnover, we're going to get that wrapped up. Probably clean up this edge a bit here just in terms of the landscaping. Obviously once all the stuff's out of here, we'll have a little better look, but we do have a little bit of overgrowth just from the woods behind us. So we'll get this trimmed up nice along the line here. Cool. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. And then we can see See a little bit of evidence of the critters getting under here. You can see they dug out underneath. So our plan is to just remove all the skirting around here, dig out a little trench like 6 to 12 inches down, throw some chicken wire, and then throw the skirting back on, so even if they get underneath it, they can't get through, just to prevent, prevent anything from coming in. All right, now like I said, place is a little bit of a mess. This one was actually kind of not rough, it was just disappointing. We had cut these people a break. They had a death in the family. Cut them a break on rent because they had some of the financial burden, to lay that family member to rest. And unfortunately, it ended up snowballing from there, where they just went from late payments to partial payments to no payments. And unfortunately, they forced our hand with the eviction. So coming in here, little landing mud room. This is pretty decent. We're gonna get some of this. We're obviously gonna get a lot of this trim cleaned up, get this cleaned up. I think we are gonna end up retiling it. And then you got a nice little closet here just to throw the coats and the shoes. Little fixture there. And our part of it too with the walkthrough today is I'm taking notes for the contractor as well, because there are a few things we want to do here functionally. So walk right into the living room. Again, they just left everything here. So I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what we're planning on doing in here. We're going to be redoing all the floors in the house. There's no hardwood underneath here, so we're going to be doing the LVP. There is some hardwood in the 2 bedrooms we'll get to in the backside. We're going to be deleting this little TV shelf corner thing here just because it's a little out of place. It was just something we didn't address initially. And then our plan is to put a pass through here because the kitchen's on the other side. A lot of the houses on the street have the same layout. A lot of them have a pass through here just to see over into the kitchen. Put a nice little countertop there. Paint, windows, fixtures. This is going to be a full flip, lack of better phrasing, even though we're going to be holding it. Into the kitchen here, again, a little bit more of a mess. Now this property, we didn't have to do too much when we first bought it. It was mostly cosmetic. We did the floors, we did the paint, some newer appliances, things like that. But for the most part, it was kind of ready to go as is. And with the college right next to us, we did rent the college kits to start off, and then ended up connecting with a family, like I said, that was here for the past 4 years. All these cabinets are going, all this is going to get replaced. We're going to be keeping the footprint the same. So it'll be the same exact layout and functionality. It's just everything's going to be updated. Get new appliances, new fixtures, again, new windows. Got a little bit of an electrical box thing here. I think this is just additional wiring from some of the exterior lights that they just never fed into the box. Again, with no basement, when they built this and did some renovations, at least before we bought it, looks like they might have been a little lazy with some of that stuff. We do have a drop ceiling in here. Now the drop ceiling's in pretty good, like the tile ceiling's in pretty good shape. I think we are going to keep that, unless there's a reason for us to remove it. Again, our plan is to hold it as a rental, so I don't think that's going to impact the marketability or the desirability too much. But again, just full. This is going to be a full gut. We are going to run the flooring, I think, from the living room into the kitchen into the hallways, and then it'll match upstairs as well. So this will be all one floor, kind of like it is here. I mean, you can see some of the damages. This is, I don't even know how something like this happens, where the actual LVP is getting cracked and damaged there. So again, just a little bit of that. Hate to say deferred maintenance here just because it's my property, but it's tough for me to know what's going on if they don't report it. So, I like to think I'm a pretty good investor, property owner. I like to keep my properties tip-top, but if you don't tell me something's going on, how am I supposed to know? Little closet under the stairs here, so where the electrical panel is. We're not going to have to do any electrical stuff. We kind of did that initially, other than that cleanup in the kitchen. So I think for the most part, that should be pretty cut and dry. Coming to the bathroom. Bathroom is basically going to be a full gut reno. We had redone this tile a few years ago, but it's cracking, and like I said, they weren't really keeping up with the maintenance on the property. I got some of the old school tile in here that we did keep just because it was in good shape. Obviously, the color's not the most desirable, but as a rental, it was getting the job done. But we're just gonna get rid of all this, drywall it, get rid of all this, drywall it. You can see they have a little bit of discoloration. I don't know if they were just not keeping the fan on, because the fan does work. You can hear it. So I don't know if they were just keeping the windows closed and taking 45-minute showers or what. But again, this is something where if you see this in your rental, call your landlord. Call the owner, let them know what's going on. Let them know what's going on so they can address it. They just let this sit. I think partially because once they knew the eviction was coming, they just stopped kind of caring. As much as I hate to say that. so I wouldn't be surprised if that's from there. Bedroom number 1, again, just a bunch of junk. Not too bad. We are going to get some light fixtures installed in here. They're just on the switches for like a lamp. So we're going to get some electrical in there. So I guess my previous comment was inaccurate about the electrical. So 2 fixtures in here, getting all the windows replaced. We're going to refinish the floor, probably match it with whatever we decide to do with the LVP there, just to have some sense of continuity. Won't be perfect, but it'll be pretty close. Again, it's just really just with the kind of the trash in here, trying to get in here before, get an idea of scope. Bedroom number 2. I mean, they're good sized bedroom, high ceilings, 9-foot ceilings. You know, flooring, again, not too bad in here. Sand, refurb, do the windows, paint the place. A little bit of a texture on the wall. It's like that paneling, but it's in pretty good shape. It's not like the old school wood paneling. It just provides almost like a stripe texture. So I think we're just going to keep that, paint over it. You know, go something a bit neutral. They ended up painting a few of these rooms in here, so might be some of their color choices here. Okay, we will head upstairs now. Now again, just going to be replacing all this flooring and stuff. This is just like a little built-in. You know, it's like shelving built in. I think we're going to end up deleting this. It does cover part of the gas line coming in, so we'll just box that. You can see it's already kind of boxed and braced off a bit here on the inside. So I think we're just going to reclaim, you know, this 10 inches and just have a little bit more landing down here at the bottom of the stairs. All right, so going to head up. Obviously going to need some paint, things like that. You know, the standard cleanup for a rental turnover, you're going to have that stuff for the most part, some paint touch-ups, a repair or two here, but like I said, just given the circumstances and the status, we're going to go ahead and renovate the whole place. Coming up to bedroom number 3, 4 bedrooms total in this place, 2 up, 2 down, 1 full bath. That's kind of why we liked it as a rental too, just the additional bedrooms. You know, more bedrooms, you can charge more rent, kind of increases your spread there. You know, it's just a good business decision if you can make it work. Again, just closet. Again, pretty standard up here. Going to be doing the windows, fixtures, flooring. We're going to be doing the LVP up here as well, just to probably keep it consistent, save on that material cost. Again, keeping it as a rental too. So, and then bedroom number 4. And again, this was just all stuff they left from the eviction. You know, it'll cost us a little extra to trash it out, but you know, at this point, I'm just happy to be able to reclaim the property, be back in possession. You know, we'll go after them for the back due rent. That's a whole separate scenario. I'm just glad to be back in possession of the home. And you know, it stinks. I don't want to have to evict anybody. We ended up trying to offer these people, like we made them an offer basically to leave. You know, me and my brother were willing to eat a few $1,000 on rent. You guys just vacate voluntarily. You know, everybody moves on. They basically spat on the offer and kind of forced our hand with the eviction. So. Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but you know, ultimately if you're in this business long enough, it's inevitable. You know, whether you have a lot of properties or you just own property for a while, it's part of the business. It's going to happen. We learn the hard way, learn through experience, and just try to grow from there. Okay, I think that might be it for it today. Again, we're going to be revisiting this one a few weeks down the line once the repairs are done. So go ahead and like and subscribe, keep an eye out for those future videos. And again, if you're looking to connect on real estate in general, go ahead and drop us a line through the links in the video description. All right, Nick signing off till next time. See ya.